Well, all right. How's everyone up there tonight? Bob is back Monday night. Three fast biker news stories, two from Canada and one from the UK that I think I've kind of been following this story. TikTok video at the same time. And here we go. So, hey, everyone out there. The first story, I thought this one was an interesting one. Down in Halton Region, down a little bit west of Toronto, still part of the GTA. Goes kind of from Oakville up into um, Georgetown and all those little places. So anyway, Halton police set up some crazy operation over the weekend, and they busted 51 unplated motorcycles in a project which also targeted dangerous driving. Of course, they're going to have to see that. So the cops are out there. They're trying to identify bikes that are spotted without any license plates. Kind of surprising. I always thought that if you don't have plates, it just usually means you don't have insurance. And if you don't have insurance, if you get hurt, even if it's the other person's fault, I don't think you can take any suit because you weren't insured yourself. You weren't legal yourself. I'm not quite a lawyer. I don't know if that's 100%. That's the way I always understood it to work. So let's do the story real quick. Halton police say they have identified 51 motorcycles that have been riding around the GTA without plates and have laid a number of charges following an investigation targeting unplated motorcycles and dangerous drivers. Project #Unplated was initiated due to an unprecedented number of unplated motorcycles failing to stop for police behavior most often seen during the warm summer weather. Police said in a news release Monday. Now, the problem is, out there, is everything's so damn expensive. So summer comes, bikes are nice, affordable mode of transportation, but in a lot of cases, the insurance is not. I'm not trying to say, hey, everyone go ride around your bikes without plates. I personally, I would never ride a motorcycle without a plate, and the bike being 100% legal and insured, safety, all that shit. Just for my own part. That's just my viewpoint. But hey, you do you, and who am I to say, right? So these unplated motorcycles are often used in racing, stunt driving, dangerous driving occurrences. Police said throughout the summer, police posted pictures on social media of unplated motorcycles, which are spotted driving through Halton Region. They then asked the public to reach out with tips. Well, that ain't very cool. So as a result of Project Unplated, 51 motorcycles were identified where their license plates were concealed, obstructed, or not present. That's the other thing about the GTA. Sometimes you obstruct it. I don't know why they do it, but I know on cars anyway, for the 407, you'll have to pay the toll. I don't think motorcycles pay a toll anyway on 407, so it wouldn't explain the bikes. And like I say, some guys just either A, can't afford the insurance, B, don't have their full endorsement, or C, just don't care, right? Bike right there, got to go there, jump on it, away they go. So anyways, a number of charges were laid until the 5 motorcycles were towed or impounded by police. Some motorcycles were let off with a warning. A variety of charges, including careless, speedless, stunt driving, and failed to stop, driving without insurance, driving without a license, unnecessary noise, using fake plates. So those are kind of all the things I just said off the top of my head. So these are a number of techniques, strategically and safely stop motorcycles, present pursuits. They know that the motorcycles are vulnerable road users and overrepresented in road deaths. So that's one thing that's true. It's been a bad summer across Ontario for bike wrecks that result in the bike rider's fatality. But again, that won't have much to do with whether you're riding with a license plate on you or not. But it might have something to do with whether you're getting on the bike, knowing how to ride the damn thing, right? It's not quite as easy as it looks, but hey, it ain't hard either. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So that's our first story. Cops around the GTA busting people riding their bikes without plates. I do recall one time when I lived in Toronto, there's a big news story. There's a whole big pack of bikes all the way across the QEW. What is it, 3, maybe 4 lanes as it turns into the Gardner there. that 427, and they had the whole road kind of taken over and doing catwalks and whatever, right? Obviously, a bunch of younger people out there enjoying their bikes. Cops did not like that very much. I think it went on for a few weekends throughout the whole summer, and then the OPP got down there and stopped them all and did what they do, right? Okay, so again, that's our first story. No bike club stuff this time. It's like I say, it's refreshing. All you guys out there, I don't know, like I say, I'm not giving advice to ride without plates, but do whatever you feel is best for you. And let's see what our next story is. This one's going to come out of the UK. I know it's not Canadian biker news, but I'm following this story. So this story is coming from the Birmingham Live newspaper. And Richard Radbourne Tamworth murder trial told father deliberately drove into biker. Murat Caracas, 51, collided with Mr. Radbourne's Harley Davidson in Comerford Road on March the 3rd. I do recall this story. I'm pretty sure I did a story about it. So there's our story here on YouTube. So there's the guy, there's the victim there. So he's riding his Harley around, and he's from Tamworth. And if I recall correctly, when I was in England, I stayed in Birmingham, and we used to ride our motorcycles down to a pub in Tamworth. And Tamworth was a very biker-friendly town, and had a cool little pub and a really cool little castle out there, if I recall correctly. So they charged this guy with murder, who killed the guy on his Harley. So murder accused father deliberately drove into a motorcyclist who was in a high-speed chase with his son, causing brain damage and a severed spinal cord, a court has heard. Jurors were told that Richard Radbourne, 47, died from his multiple traumatic injuries after Murat Caracas collided with his Harley Davidson in Comerford Road in Tamworth on March 3rd. Caracas, 51, denied his murder and manslaughter charges in standing trial at Stafford Crown Court, also charged with causing death by dangerous driving. Opening the Crown's case on Friday, September 27, prosecuting barrister, lawyer, the Crown, the lead, the prosecutor, however you want to say it, depending on where you're from, he alleges that he committed murder and said that Richard Radbourne was chasing this defendant's son. Oh, so there's more to the story here. Not that it makes it right to ride into a guy on his bike with your car and kill him. So when Mr. Croxley is gonna, what was going on? So when Murat Caracas learned what was going on, he armed himself with a bat, got into his car, and rather than drive after them, he drove the other way. The prosecutor said he drove around in the other direction because he intended to meet them as they came around the loop again. Then he pulled out in front of Richard Radbourne. The court was told Caracas' son and Mr. Radbourne were traveling above 70 along a 30-mile-an-hour, and this is miles an hour over in England, speed limit roads when the collision happened. Caracas of Gilway Lane in Tamworth drove his big car at a motorcycle to cause at least serious harm, the prosecutor said. Post-mortem examination showed Mr. Radbourne suffered multiple serious injuries, including bleed to his brain, damage to his brain stem, a severed spinal cord, a torn aorta, and fractures to his spine and thigh bones. The court was so wow. Mr. Rose said that despite the efforts of the paramedics, he was dead at the scene, unfortunately. That's such a drag, man. Wow. And so after the crash, Harley Davidson was so extensively damaged, the police officers at scene could not tell what make or model it was. And he went to stop with a motorcyclist, and he was out to use violence. At 10 p.m., he was seen coming out of his house carrying a baseball bat. Before he got in the car, reversed out. Prosecutor said that he had the bat because he was out for violence, and the fact he tried to conceal it shows that. And then he said he deliberately drove into the victim to stop him. Used the car as a weapon, and the collision does not appear to be any typical loss of control by the driver of the car. And as I understand, the defendant does not suggest he lost control at all. His case is that the motorcycle rider was on the wrong side of the road when he deliberately drove into the center of it, hoping the motorcyclist would stop. The crowd said he knew the inevitable consequence of his actions. There was bound to be a collision. Richard Radburn had almost certainly be killed in that collision, or at least sustained really serious injuries. That's murder. And the trial continues. Wow. Wow, what a trip. So it doesn't say anything about why the guy was chasing his son with his motorcycle, or what that part of the story is. But hey, man, you can't smash into a guy on a motorcycle with your car without, like it says, without thinking he's gonna probably die from it, right? Now again, I'm not gonna take the side of the cops or whatever, right? But to all involved, that's a very bad story. All right, now I'm gonna pause this up here on YouTube. TikTok already went over on that video, on that section of it. Bummer. Okay, and this is our last story. Happened in London, Ontario. Another serious car and motorcycle crash. Closed Oxford Street for hours. That was on Sunday last night. And between a car and a bike. Where's that? That looks like it's on the bridge in between Talbot and Warncliffe there. And crash between a car and a motorcycle, closed portion of Oxford Street in downtown London for several hours on Sunday. It happened in the morning, 10:40. I thought I had heard that he ran into either an ambulance or a fire truck. The driver of the motorcycle was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and the London police closed the road for more than 4 hours. And the traffic management is handling the investigations. That's it. That's the whole story. Like you say, yesterday I thought I heard that the collision involved an ambulance or a fire department vehicle. And I also heard online in a chat somewhere from the rider of the motorcycle itself. He's okay despite having more than one broken bones. So again, it's been a rotten summer out there for people not seeing motorcycles. And, all I can do is say, hey, try to play safe out there, everybody. It ain't no fun. Ain't no fun getting hit by a car when you're on a bike. Having a car whip out in front of you, or any of the above, right? So, again, I know the biker's coming to, or the season's coming to an end. It doesn't mean to be less vigilant and ride like they don't see you. Because in most cases, I believe that they don't. Okay, that's it. A little bit of biker news for a Monday evening here. And I want to thank everyone always who takes time watches the videos. It means the world to me. And like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. If you catch me on Facebook, catch me on YouTube and subscribe to the channel if you would. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Good night and respect.